Welcome everyone to a big Monday edition of the Scoreboard. It's your host, Anthony. We've got a massive episode lined up for you today. We're going to start off with some EPL. We'll move on to some Serie A and some A-League to capture all our soccer. We've got a bit of tennis with a few finals that took place over the last couple of days from the ATP and WTA sides. We'll recap the major test matches that took place in the cricket world and the All-Star game which took place today between Team Giannis and Team Lebron. I hope you all had a good weekend, and if you did have a little flutter, hopefully you got some good luck there. If not, there is always this week and next week to go. As always, please do gamble responsibly if you are having a punt. All right, without mucking around, let's get into the Sport Odds Scoreboard for Monday, February the 20th.
Soccer.
We'll kick things off with this morning's EPL results, where Tottenham 2 defeated West Ham 0. Tottenham starting that one $1.85, draw was $3.52, and West Ham were $4.60. Man U 3 defeated Leicester 0, Man U $1.56, draw was $4.50, and Leicester were $5.73. We'll take you through all of yesterday's games, where Liverpool defeated Newcastle 2-0. Odds there, Newcastle starting $2.54, draw was $3.48, and Liverpool were $2.80. Brentford and Crystal Palace played out a 1-1 draw. Brentford favourites there, $1.81, draw was $3.55, and Palace were $4.75. Fulham defeated Brighton 1-0. Brighton starting $1.55, favourites at home, draw was $4.30, and Fulham starting at $6.20. Chelsea were defeated by Southampton 1-0. Chelsea starting $1.44, draw was $4.65, and Southampton paying $7.90. Everton 1 defeated Leeds 0. Everton at $2.74. Draw was $3.20, and Leeds paying $2.75. Man City and Nottingham drew 1-1. Nottingham starting that one $2.60. Draw was $5.40, and Man City $1.20 favourites. We saw Bournemouth defeat Wolves 1-0. Wolves starting that one $1.82, favourites at home. Draw was $3.60, and Bournemouth were $4.70. And on Saturday morning, we saw Aston Villa get defeated by Arsenal 4-2. Villa starting that one $4.40, draw was $3.60, and Arsenal were $1.86. Let's move over to Australia now with a bit of an A-League wrap. In the first game, we saw Adelaide United and Western Sydney play out a massive 4-4 draw. Odds there, United starting $2.40, draw was $3.40, and Western Sydney Wanderers were $2.85. In the games before, Perth Glory, Central Coast Mariners played out a 2-2 draw. Perth Glory were $3.29, draw was $3.60, and Central Coast were $2.10. Melbourne Victory defeated Melbourne City in the derby 3-2. Melbourne Victory paying $4 at some bookies. Draw was $3.60, and Melbourne City starting that one $1.90 favourites. We saw Macarthur get defeated by Newcastle Jets 1-0. Macarthur starting that one $2.55. Draw was $3.50, and Newcastle Jets were $2.55. Sydney FC and Brisbane Roar played out a 1-1 draw. Sydney starting that one $1.96. Draw was $3.50, and Brisbane Roar $3.80. And on Friday night, Western United were defeated by Wellington Phoenix 3-0. Western United starting $2.50. Draw was $3.50, and Wellington Phoenix starting at $2.65. We'll head back to Europe now to recap all the Serie A scores from the weekend. We saw Roma defeat Verona 1-0. Roma $1.78. Draw was $3.40, and Verona at $5.50. Juventus got a much-needed win over Spezia 2-0. Spezia starting that one $5.70. Draw was $3.80, and Juventus were $1.65. Fiorentina and Empoli played out a 1-1 draw. Fiorentina starting that one favourites at home $1.65. Draw was $3.95, and Empoli were $5.20. Salernitana got defeated by Lazio 2-0. Salernitana starting that one $5. Draw was $3.60, and Lazio $1.70 favourites. We saw Lecce defeat Atalanta 2-1. Atalanta starting $1.45 favourites at home. Draw was $4.40 and Lecce starting $7.50. Inter defeated Udinese 3-1. Inter starting that one $1.44. Draw was $4.70 and the Udinese were $7.60. Monza were defeated by AC Milan 1-0. Monza starting that one at home $3.50. Draw was $3.30 and AC Milan were $2.15. Sampdoria were defeated by Bologna 2-1. Sampdoria starting $3.50. Draw was $3.20 and Bologna starting at $2.25. And in the first game for the round, Napoli defeated Sassuolo 2-0. Sassuolo $5.45. Draw was $4.10 and Napoli starting $1.60 favourites. Tennis. We'll recap all the latest tennis action now. And we'll start in Buenos Airies, where Carlos Alcaraz made his triumphant return, defeating Cam Norrie 2-0 in the final. Score there was 6-3, 7-5. And odds in that one, Alcaraz starting $1.16, strong favourite, and Cam Norrie was $4.85. In the big one in Rotterdam, Medvedev got the upper hand over Sinner, 2-1. Score there was 5-7, 6-2, 6-2. Bookies like Medvedev there, starting $1.62, and Yannick Sinner was $2.23. Over to Delray Beach, where Taylor Fritz took out the title in his home country. He beat Mimo Kecmanovic 2-1. Score there was 6-love, 5-7, 6-2. Bookies like Fritz there, $1.27 he started, and Kecmanovic starting $3.50. And the one final in Doha on the weekend, where Swiatek defeated Pegula 2-love. Score there was 6-3, 6-love. Market liking eager in that one, starting her at $1.22 and Pegula at $4.30. The WTA moves to Merida and Dubai this week, and the ATP, we got tournaments going on in Marseille and Doha. Cricket. We'll move on to some cricket next and just recap the two major test matches that have been completed. We saw Bazball England get the win in New Zealand by 267 runs. Pre-match odds there were New Zealand 230, a draw was $6 and England starting $2.15. And we saw India defeat Australia by 6 wickets after Australia's second innings collapse, and some Jadeja magic on the turf over there. India starting that one $1.53, draw $8 and Australia $3.60. NBA. And just a quick recap of the NBA today, where we just had the one game for All-Star Weekend. Score there, Team Giannis 184, defeated Team Lebron 175. Team Giannis starting that one $2.15 and Team LeBron $1.74. That's all we got time for on this Monday edition of the Sport Odds Scoreboard. Thanks for tuning in to this episode. Hope we gave you a little bit of knowledge of all the odds and scores from the weekend. Don't forget, if you are enjoying this, please head over to your favourite streaming platform and give me a like or a follow or a review if you do have time. Be muchly appreciated. We'll check in with you again soon. Good luck if you are on the punt this week or this upcoming weekend. Flick me through any tips. And as always, please do gamble responsibly. All right, this is Anthony, your host, signing off. You have a good week and we'll catch up on the next episode. Goodbye.